Today on Upfront, Foxconn's a done deal, or is it? Next, what happened to that September 30th deadline? And is President Trump now expressing uncertainty about the deal? I'll ask Assembly Speaker Robin Vos what's going on. Plus, the Speaker and the Governor, what were those testy text messages all about? Then, mineral mining in Wisconsin, why environmental groups say it's a serious threat. And the Sauk County judge running for state Supreme Court.
Covering the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Upfront with Mike Goucher.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Upfront. We begin today with the deal to bring Taiwanese tech giant Foxconn to Wisconsin. It was supposed to be a done deal by September 30th, but it's not, as in not done. Last week, the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation postponed a vote on the state's contract with Foxconn after apparently finding some issue with it. The agency didn't say what the problem or issue was. That alone wouldn't be concerning, but then President Trump expressed some uncertainty about the deal last week, saying the plant would hopefully be built in Wisconsin. So what's going on here? We're asking Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, whose district includes Mount Pleasant, the site selected for the big Foxconn plant. Speaker Vos, good to have you back on the program.
Thanks, Mike. Good to be here.
So what is going on here? It was supposed to be done September 30th. Why isn't it done?
Well, the most important things have already happened. Number one, the state passed its incentive package. We saw just this week that we actually offered less than the state of Michigan did, but we still were able to get the site because of the work that Governor Walker put into it, along with the local elected officials to put a great package together. They've chosen Racine County. That was step number two, so they know exactly where the site's going to be and what the potential for expansion is. They've had the local agreement, which is basically in place. The Mount Pleasant Village Board met this week. They're establishing the TIF, and now they go to the next step, which is to negotiate the final contract. And for all the people who have been critical of the Foxconn deal, I would think that they would say, geez, do your due diligence, make sure the deal is right for everybody, and that when it's finally concluded, it's one that we can all be proud of, perhaps even some of the critics. So I'm not in a rush to finalize the contract. We're still right on track. We're in target.
Is there a problem with it?
Not that I know of. No, not that I know of. I mean, I have talked to people who've been involved in negotiations. It sounds like all we're doing is that due diligence to make sure we all have a very clear understanding of what's in there. You've already heard some of the new things where they're going to actually put somebody on staff to make sure we are meeting the expectations of the contract, that the development is already proceeding. I have talked to residents who are being given offers and talking about the potential for the land acquisition. So nothing is different than it was 2 weeks ago, other than the fact that we are continuing to do the due diligence to get the best deal possible.
So you don't think there's any danger that as this drags on, we're now talking about maybe November, that's the latest being discussed as a possibility for getting this done, that as this drags on, Foxconn might say, I don't know, how serious are they about completing this deal?
No, because we are as serious as we have been from the very beginning. Governor Walker has done an excellent job negotiating a great package for Wisconsin. I'm proud to support that and the work that he's done. I think in the end, we are still going to see a groundbreaking where you will see shovels and cranes in the air beginning of next year, which has always been the plan.
Beginning of next year?
Yeah, beginning of next year always has been the plan because we want to have this facility up and running as quickly as we can. Another good aspect of this entire development is the jobs are already being advertised and hired in southeastern Wisconsin for work before the facility has even begun to be constructed. So I think that's a really good positive economic sign that everything's on track.
So I mentioned what President Trump said last week, and it was kind of an unusual comment. He was talking about a completely different subject and then switched gears, talked about Foxconn and the big new plant coming to the U.S. But he said, and I'm quoting him, he said, I think it's going to be in the state of Wisconsin, and hopefully it's going to be there. He was there when the announcement was made with Governor Walker and with the head of Foxconn. Why would he say hopefully, I think?
Well, my hope is this is one of those times where President Trump is under-promising so that we can over-deliver. We don't want to, count our chickens before they're hatched. We are really confident the deal's been passed. A lot of the agreement has already been signed. But until the first shovel is in the ground, I can see why he is trying to say, let's make sure that the deal is actually going to get done. So
it doesn't make you just the least bit nervous?
No, because President Trump's in Washington doing all the work of the presidency. Governor Walker is here. He's the guy that's on the ground, along with the WEDC staff negotiating and my county executive, our local elected officials. They are doing a fantastic job, and I am ultimately confident that this is going to come to fruition. It's going to be a great thing for our state.
So you've been praising Governor Walker several times already, and I got to ask you about the way the budget process ended. You were not happy with some facets of it.
No, it was wrong.
It was wrong.
Yeah, the process, the way it happened.
That some conservative senators said, these are the things we need, and the governor said, those will be in the budget. You were upset about that.
Right. Well, the way that we have operated for better than 50 years is you have the Joint Finance Committee doing hearings around the state, listening to the public, making a deal as they go, where the Senate and the Assembly negotiate. They put things in that are necessary. We add things in for people's districts. We say what can they and can they not support. And then in the end, the final package is voted out, and we adopt those two because we've done a pre-conference committee the opposite way that other states do. So for then individual rogue senators to say, I've been involved in this process the entire time, but I want to put my foot down and I'm not going to vote for it unless I get that, that is wrong, and it's just something that we should never allow to happen. Frankly, I wish Governor Walker hadn't negotiated with terrorists. I think that's a bad way to operate the legislature.
Terrorists? You call them rogue senators and terrorists?
That's what they are. Because you don't hold somebody hostage for your own personal needs. What you say is, look, you negotiate, you give and you take. A lot of the things that they got Governor Walker...
They might say that's politics.
No, the difference is that in Governor Walker's case, there were deals that were made inside the budget. You support one thing in exchange for another. You know, you say, I can live with that as long as you can maybe tweak this or change that. But to go ahead and outside that process where nobody else was involved, only 3 people made a backroom deal, to be able to have something that could not be announced before the budget was enacted. Maybe the budget would have failed if we would have known some of those aspects were going to be vetoed, but we never had the chance to know. So that process is not going to happen again. If I have anything to say about it, it was wrong. It shouldn't have happened.
So you sent the governor a text, and you weren't happy, and you said, and I'm quoting now, I won't forget this. And then you went on to say you're very disappointed in the way I've been treated, not even the courtesy of a phone call before you, Governor Walker, took out things that were important to me, to you. He didn't respond to that. What do you think about it now with the passage of a little time?
Yeah, the governor was obviously over in South Korea, so that's why I sent the text, because I knew he was not actively involved in negotiations, because he was, of course, representing Wisconsin. From my standpoint, you know, I consider myself one of Governor Walker's best allies. I endorsed him before he became governor when he ran against Mark Green. I have been one of his key allies ever since. To me, if
you've had a couple little exchanges.
Well, yeah,
because
that's what friends do, right? I mean, I try to be honest and upfront. Others, you know, don't have the ability to do that. So Governor Walker, to his credit, we sat down after he got back from Korea. We talked for well over an hour about some of the things that were and were not promised inside those negotiations. So to me, it's old news, which is why it's weeks ago, and I know you have to talk about it. But, you know, that's what friends do. You have disagreements, you talk about it, and you do it in a way that's respectful. You don't do it like those senators did, where they put threats out there and said, if I don't get my way, I'm going to be a no. That's just not the way we've ever operated, and it shouldn't be here in the state.
Assembly Speaker Robin Vos on the program this week. Good to have you back.
Thanks, Mike. I enjoyed it.
And my interview with Speaker Vos continues now on our website, where we're talking about the fall legislative agenda. You'll find that on the Upfront section of WISN.com. Coming up later on Upfront, the play Michigan made for Foxconn, something we were just talking about, how it fell short. But first, sulfide mining in Wisconsin. We'll hear why some environmental groups are opposed. That's when Upfront continues.
Upfront with Mike Goucher, brought to you by the American Transmission Company and the Wisconsin Corn Growers Association.